Hey, what's up, guys? And in this video, I want to talk about something that I don't think a lot of people have really looked at too much, and that's crossout and PVE. I'm sure you've participated in PVE events because, well, it's the only way to get copper, and therefore, if you don't do it, well, then you can't really progress. But I'm talking more on a bigger scale, more of an MMO scale, really. The whole idea of the PvE in this game currently is just that it is a separate game mode. It's not really that great. It's, the attacks, defenses, and whatever. It's not too fun, but they have been experimenting with the Leviathans, a project in which players build a very huge vehicle with, I think it's like 155 parts or whatever. It's huge. You can make a giant vehicle, no power score limit. You can no weapon limit. You can put as many weapons as you want on the damn thing. And it's just when you have the ability for other players to create the Leviathans, and then those Leviathans are the ones that you fight in combat, it allows you to have this sense of never-ending bosses. And I think going forward in PvE, it would be really beneficial for Targem to continue focusing on this idea that the vehicles are vehicles designed by the community, and the bosses are filtered out through continuous designs by the community. Good designs reward people, bad designs, you don't get anything. Things like that. I think that'll be a really cool mechanic later down the line. And I also think it would also be very beneficial to Targem to just very much involve the community in the design aspect of the AI and just PvE elements of the game, because it makes the players feel more, more like it's a part of their game rather than just some developers that we really hear really hard from develop or just designing vehicles. And they probably, I don't want to say they don't care, but I'm sure that they have like a formula for building vehicles and whatnot, and a player would make something much more unique and cool, and it'd be really awesome to just see new designs filtered in and out, and that is something we currently see. But moving on to more of the bigger stages of PvE, I've heard rumors of people on Reddit and the forums talking about how they want to see things such as like raids and whatnot, where it's like, a bunch of like 10 people fight one giant enemy or something like that. And Targem has confirmed that that is an idea they have been throwing around. It's nothing that I think is currently in the works, but the idea of a raid would more or less be it's a really, really big, well, the size doesn't really matter. It's just a really difficult enemy, one that isn't something like, oh, this will be done in 10 minutes. This is more of like a 20 to 30 minute fight, and chances are you're not going to get it on your first try. The whole point is for it to be extremely difficult, and for like it'll provide a I don't know, I wouldn't say top end players, but like the top 70 or top 20% people will be able to participate in these, and try and get these really rare rewards from these raids. And there might be like a 1 in 1,000 drop chance of you getting a legendary or something like that. Usually, you'll get a decent reward, nothing that you're gonna just write home about. You'll probably get a few blues, maybe a purple, and then it's a rare occasion you might get a legendary. But there's a lot of scrap wires and other rewards you can get from it too. But I think the idea of creating a raid for the top tier people will give them something more to do rather than just buying and selling parts on the market, because then it kind of turns more into a stock market simulator, and I don't think anyone really wants to do that. I also think having a raid boss that is continuously adding legendary parts into the game will very much help the market, as well as allowing players to get a leg up, because leveling up and getting all the legendary parts for, let's say, the Nomads faction will take ages, but maybe you do a raid boss and you get a legendary for the Scavengers. That's something that would have taken you like probably a month or more to go through and grind out, but you got lucky on the or the raid boss, and now you have an extra part that you can play around with, and it'll just something that you can enjoy and whatnot. I don't know really how to explain it, but I think it's just a nice way to give players a taste of other factions without having them to unlock it. And other than the market, there really isn't much of a way to do that. And I don't think forcing players to either grind or they have to spend months at a time is a great option. I'm not saying I think the grind is too long. I think the grind is perfect as it is. But I think if I get to the point where I have legendaries with the nomads, there should be a very difficult boss that I have a chance of getting a legendary drop from, like either the lunatics or the scavengers. Because I already grinded out one legendary. I've already done the grind, but it would be cool to get to experience different factions parts without having to dedicate that much time to it. And maybe if I like the part that much, I will dedicate that much time to it. Other than that, I don't know what else they have in the works for PvE. I'm sure they're developing more game modes because PvE is going to be a very vital part of the game once it opens up to open beta. Copper is going to be one of the most valuable. It even is one of the most valuable resources in the game. Copper is used for nearly everything at the beginner level, and once the open beta hits, because everyone's going to be at the beginner level, copper is going to be probably one of the most expensive things on the market. Same thing with scrap, but because you can get that from regular PvP fights, it's not as valuable. Copper, you have to do the extra effort of going into a PvE mode. It's really not that much extra effort, but you know what I mean. Regardless, copper is going to be very important once it comes out, so you'll be seeing probably a couple more PvE modes. I think the way they filter out the PvE modes is good. You can't just play the same game mode over and over again. However, I do feel like that all game modes should be present at all times, but you can only get so many tickets off of the game mode so many times. I don't think it's really fair to kind of force someone to pick between two game modes. And they don't even do it based on or they don't even say like, all right, today we're doing defense and then siege. They don't do like easy, normal, hard for each of those. They have like maybe easy siege, normal defense, and hard, like maybe race. I don't like that. I don't like how the game mode changes based on the difficulty. If you're gonna filter out the PvE game modes, you should just pick two game modes and then have the difficulty, all three difficulties for those game modes. I know that's currently not really an option, considering the player base of the game is diminishing and it's already at dwindling or just tiny numbers. But once the open beta hits, I'm sure there will be enough people to make that possible, especially like at the very beginning at least, because everybody will be doing easy and normal. Very few people will be doing hard, so I think they can easily handle 6 different like variants of the game mode. So I don't see that being an issue, but I don't really. Other than that, I don't really know anything else that's planned for the PVE. I don't really have any more things I want to see off the top of my head. I've already kind of stated what I want to see more of: community involvement in the design of the vehicles, and I'd like to see the game modes to be a bit more, not forced upon you. I don't want to be forced to play Siege because I don't really like the Siege game mode. I would much prefer like race or convoy or something like that. Anyway, let me know what you guys want to see in this in the future for the PvE. Sorry, I'm like mumbling now. But yeah, let me know what you want to see in the future for PvE. Do you think it's a good idea to incorporate community designs? Do you think the Crossout dev team should just do it themselves to create balanced vehicles? Because I get it, maybe a player will make some unbeatable vehicle, but I think that's kind of the fun of it, Sometimes you get lucky and it's an easy vehicle, but sometimes some masterpiece comes your way and just curb stomps you and your entire team. But, yeah, that's really all I have for this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and check out some of my other Crossout content. I'll be sure to be posting a lot of videos once the open beta hits, as well as tutorials and guides and whatnot. Some of those will be coming before the open beta too, because I don't see too much changing from this point until open beta. But as always, peace out and have a great day.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't